what is so significant about an eclipse? You just said you want to live to 105 for 3 eclipses. You didn't say to see Elon terraform Mars. We didn't say to like you do you know you guys like you guys took my soul when you said Pluto wasn't a planet. Okay, so there's these things.
Yeah.
So what about what is it about eclipses? What about those 3?
Man, it's a total solar eclipse is the most unbelievable moment that you can ever imagine experiencing. You're outside, sunny day, all of a sudden, moon covers over the entire sun. This shadow sweeps across the land. Like it just goes whoosh. You can almost hear the whoosh as it goes across. The birds stop singing. The crickets start chirping because it's nighttime, basically. People just lose all control of their auditory. I mean, they just start screaming or like, oh, my, what? And so all this is going on. And then you look up, the stars are up there in the sky. You look up where the sun was, it's gone. It's like a perfect circle with these wispy corona around the edge of the sun. And then it just lasts just a few seconds, like just, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's it. And then bang, the sun comes right back out. And it's like, what just happened? Was this what it's like? It's almost like you're in a simulation as to what's happening here. The sky just looks so weird. And it's for such a short period of time. And you have to travel to this exact place at the exact time that's predicted down to the exact second, and you think you know what it's going to be like, and you think you know what you're going to do under it, but you can't. People go temporarily crazy under this, and I've only seen that twice. And there's a lot of people out there who've seen dozen or 15 or 16 of them. So it is it's the ultimate thing. And so if I'm going to pick one thing that I'm going to look forward to, it's that. And there's another part about it too, is that it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. There's nothing that's going to stop it happening. Not even Elon Musk's going to stop it happening. I like that kind of certainty kind of thing. And it's a guaranteed cool show. So for people listening, April 8th, 2024, that's the next total coming through Ohio even. So we don't have to drive very far from the Cincinnati area. Just go up to Dayton, Indianapolis, North Columbus, Cleveland up there even. Mark your calendar, April 8th, 2024, take off work, take off school, play hooky. I'll write you a note, whatever we need. Nobody's going to work that day where I am.
That's awesome. I was sitting here thinking about that moment. It's fascinating that you've convinced yourself that living the next 60 years, who knows what we're going to experience on this earth over the next 60 years. It's fascinating every couple years what changes and what happens. But you want to live, it's your passion to live 60 years just to experience a few seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is a very valid question, a very valid comment. And that's, when I show like images to this, like for kids, like my first total eclipse, I went to Greece, like it was in the Mediterranean Sea, and you have to fly all the way out there. You got to get on a boat, you got to go out to there and everything like that. And I just remember like showing the pictures and showing the videos to kids. And it's interesting because certain kids are like really into travel, and a lot of kids are not into travel. They kind of think it's like kind of scary. Yeah. Going out of the city and going out of the state. For me, it's always been a natural thing. Like I'm a traveler in general. One of the kids, he was like, wait, so you went all that way for like 3 minutes and 51 seconds? I was like, yeah. And he's like, I can't get that. I don't understand that whatsoever.
To you, it's like, why wouldn't I?
Well, I know. And so that's when we had this eclipse, the last total was in 2017. And it, in my world, that's the Super Bowl of everything. And so to me, in my narrow view, everybody was talking about the eclipse and everybody went to the eclipse, which, I'm sure didn't happen. But so many people got to see that across the country because it was clear for most of the view for that eclipse. And there's a good number of population in the United States that like remember where they were that day. It was almost like the Apollo, the moon landing, how it inspired a generation, and how we kind of delved into science a little more. I think that eclipse was like it's going to have a ripple effect. I think that the kids that saw that and even some adults saw that, I think are gonna, it's part of their makeup. And it what's so cool about those eclipses is it's visible to everybody. You don't need a telescope. You just have to be in that place at that time and look up and see it. So all I can say is, yeah, April 8th, 2024, do it. We'll talk afterwards. We'll grab a Corona afterwards and talk about it. And it'll be awesome.
Cool. What do you? The other thing that was going through my mind as you're explaining, the moon going in front of the sun, and for a few seconds it's a full eclipse, and the Corona around. What do you think the earliest humans thought when that happened?
Yeah, I mean, it had to have been frightening. I mean, because you don't know, you're not expecting this, so. And it's so rare. Nobody would have seen probably 2 in their lifetime. It'd be I shouldn't say that, but it'd be very, very few people would have seen 2 of them. So anybody that sees one is probably going to see just one. And you look up and the sun's gone, and you just got to think, this is the end of the world. This is it. There's nothing has prepared me for what this is happening. Nobody's explained what's happening. And the only thing that's the saving grace is that it only happens for a few minutes. And so if this would happen for a day, I mean, I don't know what people would do. I mean, start like
jumping off cliffs,
right? Just lighting stuff on fire, probably to scare away the darkness. And there's a really great sci-fi book called Nightfall, which talks about a culture that has multiple suns in the sky. And so civilization, so the astronomers predict all the suns are going to set at one time, which had never happened before. And so they're going to experience darkness. And what's going to happen to the people when they see darkness for the first time? Spoiler, it's not good.
I was going to say, this can't be a good thing.
It's not good.
Right?
But get Nightfall. It's there's a short version and a longer version. Both of them are good.
What are you excited about? Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing I'm most excited about is solar eclipse. Surprise, surprise. October 14th of this year, we have a type of eclipse called annular solar eclipse, where almost the whole sun's blocked out, but not quite. And the best viewing locations are from this little swath of land from Oregon coast through Utah, through New Mexico, and Texas. So I'm
You're gonna go.
I'm going. Yeah, it's a good excuse. I'm going to New Mexico.
Do you have like your buddies and you get together and what city are we meeting up in? And I'm going to take this area. Like,
well, I am boy, this is tricky because I'm the people's astronomer.
And Dean has
364 days of the year.
Oh.
Eclipse days, I am single-minded, and it's everybody for themselves. Like, I'm going to give you all the information ahead of time, but day of eclipse, don't bother me. Don't talk to me. You don't want to be around me. I'm a stressful person.
What day is this?
October 14th. Don't cross my path on October 14th.
Where are you going to be?
Well, somewhere in New Mexico is where I'm hoping. If the weather turns, then I'm getting in the car and driving somewhere else. But yeah, I'm not a pleasant person on eclipse day. I'm a very stressed out person until the eclipse is over, and then I'm the funnest
person
guy.
And you're giddy about it.
Oh yeah.
So what are you stressed out about it? What's
clouds? I don't want to miss it. If I miss it, then I'm just like, yeah. I haven't missed many eclipses because of clouds, because I'm pretty good at watching the weather forecast and that kind of thing. But there was one. This is the transit of Venus. This is like Venus go in front of the sun. Hadn't happened in 122 years. And I had built this up in my head so bad. Like, I was like, I'm going to see this. Nobody's seen this alive. Nobody alive has ever seen this. And it was visible in Cincinnati, but not great. So I went farther east to more you could see. So I went to New Hampshire and to get a view. And the sun rises in the deepest fog you've ever seen. Like, it's sunny, but you can't see it because the fog has rolled in. You can't see it. And I was there with a friend of mine, and we're sitting there in the car, looking at the ocean, looking at where the haze of the sun is in front of the thing. And I looked to my friend. I was like, I need to go outside for just a second. So I go outside, close the door, walk over to the ocean, and just yell bloody hell at the sky. Like, I can't believe it. And I don't know. I lost it for like a good 5 minutes, yelling at the clouds. And then I go back in the car. I'm like, okay, I feel better. Let's drive. We're going somewhere. We got 40 minutes. And so we drove around trying to get away from the fog. And we saw these 3 guys set up with their telescopes like along the beach. And, they couldn't see anything either. But I was like, well, misery loves company. Let's go stand out by them. And then the fog started lifting, and you could see the disk of the sun. And naked eye, you could see little Venus in front of it.
See,
no reason for me to freak out. Yeah, right. no, there's a good reason for me to freak out. But
so that's really cool.
So I do like a little hardship. The hardship makes the stories a little bit because then the next transit of Venus I'm like, I'm not messing around. I'm going to Arizona. I viewed from Sedona, like guaranteed clear skies. And we watched it. It was like, yeah, sunny the whole time. It was kind of boring.
So you needed some adversity.
Yeah. But I don't want to say that out loud because I'd rather see it. But,
it'd be easy.
But yeah, yelling at the universe is always an interesting prospect.
Did it yell back?
No. That's the thing is that's where like people think like the universe is talking to you and that kind of stuff. No, universe is a cold, heartless thing.
Don't even know about you, man. It's doing what it's doing. So is Sedona? Is it the most clear sky?
Not really. It was like the Arizona in general is one of my go-to places. Usually Southern Arizona, like Tucson, is where all the oldest, no offense, old astronomers. That's where all the old astronomers go to retire. There's like probably more astronomers in the Tucson area than
the rest of the
anybody
country.
else. Yeah, and they're there for a reason because it's clear 340 days of the year.